Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to hop on and carry forward a conversation that I started in a recent video. I love this meme. In a recent video where I talked about, it was called GLS Rug and Ranking Rebellion Summoners. I think the last 10 minutes or so was about me looking at the different Rebellion Summoners and trying to weigh in about where I thought each of them landed, why I thought one was better than another, and giving you at least with this list of summoners, which was my faves. And you guys chimed in with different comments. I got somebody telling me Lorkus is worth greater consideration, more respect, and the price point suggests that you guys agree. And then another party telling me the Cryptic is the way to go. And I'm not interested in Cryptic at all, but I got a couple gameplay shared with me by B Jangles, People's Guild himself, and then a friend from Time and Attention telling me about Lorkus. So let's expand the conversation. I want to do a bit of a deeper dive on Cryptic and a little bit deeper dive on Lorkus. I don't necessarily want to say much more about Drath or Tofu, but suffice it to say, I do think they're strong. Price point seems to say that people aren't interested or are less interested. So there's 110 available cards from Drath. There's 39 Cryptics available. Lorkus, there's 30. And considering you only need 11, frankly, there's a lot more Draths on the marketplace. Now, Drath was the one that was recently dropped. So that means there's always sort of greater supply at this moment. So I don't necessarily think that Drath is going to land in that $12 range, or let's say even lower than Cryptic or Lorkus. Ultimately, in my opinion, Drath is better, so I bet the price appreciates as that supply comes down, and that supply comes down as some of you who just recently received your airdrops start to sell them and then be done. You're no longer the weak hands that are holding the prices down, and now strong hands are begin to create a foundation for it to rise. That's my expectation based on my analysis of this ability and toolkit. But forget about Drath, forget about Tofu. Let's talk about Cryptic first, and then we'll move to Lorkus. If that sounds interesting, stick around. My name's Dwayne. I go by Infidel 1258, and you can call me 12. I like to review comments regularly, and I do so in creating video content. So if you've got questions or comments or criticisms about where my thoughts are at, I'd love to see it. First and foremost, let's go to Cryptic. I saw last night Jangles, Fat Jimmy, the Hoda, Stever were hanging out on the People's Guild and doing an amazing live, which I watched all of, by the way. And in that, they were talking about how Cryptic is. Jangles was saying he just bought Cryptic, and he's loving it. And so then I dropped a comment saying like that card sucks, and then we got back and forth on Discord, and he goes, "Oh man, it's so good! You got to check out the Exposed with the poison. It's working like a charm." And I just came back with the meme and just dropped the "ew brother ew" on him, and we had a good laugh about that. But seriously, let's watch a couple of these videos he's got, and we'll see what we can glean from this ability set that's available with Cryptic. So what do we see here? I'm gonna let the abilities queue in. So I'm gonna pause. So he attributed poison and exposed to the Vink of the Vial. Makes perfect sense with the force field on the Archimus. I actually had to look up exposed, to be honest. I did so using PeakD, and I found the Cryptic post, and exposed is a 50% chance to remove force field, lookout, reflection shield, void armor, cleanse, or immunity after successful attack. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Expose removes a random damage reduction ability or immunity / cleanse, essentially exposing the enemy to full brunt of attack. Yeah, that's pretty neat. So I guess it has to hit once in order to knock off the ability, and it'll hit a second time like at full force, which is huge because the 7 does proc force fields, and that's what Steve was planning on. Stever's up here on the Yasik, and we have Jangles down here on the Cryptic. So force field was here, Kinjo for the reflection shield, which was going to prevent the blast damage from being a problem. But let's see how it plays out. We'll slow down a little. See, I'm surprised you didn't put the Martyr. I like to put Martyr in the second spot. I'm not convinced. I'm going to pause. I'm not convinced that this team construction by Stever was the optimal example of how Cryptic can overcome. Maybe it's more an example of how, he's pretty solid and he works in good context. And, if you've got the right cards, you can really enjoy that expose functionality, maybe. Let's keep watching though. Going a bit slow. I think Stever would have won this if I didn't see that exposed though, because, well, mind you, the expose absolutely deletes in round 2 the force field, which it shouldn't have done, right? Like, so the bear should be standing. There would be no trample, and so Venka, while powerful, wouldn't have cut the mustard, I don't think, if you didn't have the expose. So that's great for crypto or for Cryptic, but I do think Steve would have lost because of the Dr. Blight alone. In round 1, you dropped a poison and an afflict, so the bear was going down in a matter of time. And you have this resilient tank. Now, the Yasik scattershot was slowly killing your back line, and it's possible he would have deleted them before. The expose probably won you the game, I have to admit. But I think it would have been still it would chance for victory at least without it. Just because of Dr. Blight, just because of the poison landing in round 1 on your Archimus. But let's carry on. So that's fair. A nice win for Cryptic. Let's go check out the next one. And then you've got a melee only retaliate option. Yeah, let's watch this one. So I watched this one already because I tried to record this and there was an audio problem. My kid was going wild in the background. So when I say audio problem, I mean parenting problem. But let's see. This is your Cryptic, and you're going to use it on the Dumok Orc, and you're going to use it on the Tidebiter. I'm confused by this team construction, but let's pause it once the abilities roll in. So there. Now we're going to pause. So with the up close and personal, you put the reach Tidebiter in the 3rd spot. I'm really confused by that. You put a retaliate on the Tidebiter. I guess that makes sense, right? I understand why you'd want. Yeah. I don't understand why this isn't your 2nd spot. But let's watch what happens. Dumok gets every retaliate under the sun. Dumok's an amazing card. I'm surprised you beat the Curse Wendigo. There's a miss. Hang on. Your Shadow Snitch missed over here, which is wild, from the Cryptic blind. Yeah, that's only a 15% chance to avoid. So that was luck on your part right there, Jangles. Now you get a retaliate. First retaliate. That's luck on your part. And then you're going to get another retaliate when you get hit again. Retaliate. And the thorns cracks the armor. But you missed, but still, you went 3 for 3 on retaliates, I think. Like when you could have retaliated, you did retaliate. And right there, you just retaliated again on the Uraeus with your Tidebiter, which again, why was this in the 3rd spot? Am I not seeing something? Were you expecting, maybe you were expecting the Dumok Orc to die right away, but I don't know why you would have been, because it's melee only. So there's not like there's a magic concern. So you won this, but narrowly, and I don't think, you don't win that if your retaliate doesn't go off. And to be honest, you chose to put the retaliate in, and you put it in the right spots. But it also fired every single time, and it's only supposed to be a 50% chance. So I'm not saying you're wrong about that, or that was a bad ability set, or that you used it incorrectly, or that you didn't deserve that win, or anything. It's more like, you did get lucky there with respect to how many retaliates that you had, and even that he missed you in one of the situations where it would have prevented you from getting another kill, I think. So you had a lot of luck in that battle, and you barely won. Okay, so what does that change anything about Cryptic in my mind? I mean, The blind, we saw it work there. That was important, and I wasn't really giving respect for the blind. I do like blind. But the problem, my critique around the blind ability for the Cryptic Summoner is not that it's a bad ability, it's that you can get it so easily with a monster, a single monster. There's like, if we quickly look up water, death, neutral on peak monsters, and we look up the ability blind, we're going to see, we go modern monsters, and we go reg foil. Oh yeah, water, death, neutral. I mean, that's a lot of monsters that you can pull, you could play that are not even high mana. 3 mana, 5 mana, 2 mana, 5, 7 mana. Squid is the most expensive one of them all in terms of mana cost. These are very playable, very powerful. Any one of them would provide that blind that is crucial. It absolutely is crucial. So I just don't know if I see that as being, yes, it's powerful, but it's so easily replicable. And if we come over here back to look at those summoners, come in here, Rebellion, we go boom. So yeah, the speed's good. Yeah, the blind's good. The retaliate is obviously powerful. I was a long time proponent of the Stone Splitter Orc, which had retaliate, and anything that has retaliate I've always loved because it does proc often. 50% is quite often, and it can sometimes double or triple your damage output because you might be hit by 2 people and retaliate twice. That's one of the great things about the it's that blue demon shark. So great with retaliate. So retaliate's great. I forget what that card is. Enfeeble, I'm a less concerned about or excited about. And poison is powerful always, but again, there's so many cards that have poison. And then, to be honest, I didn't properly understand this one ability, and I have to say you're right. Expose is crazy. It's really, really powerful, and so maybe I need to give a little bit more kudos or props to Cryptic than I would have before. But I still don't know if I put this above. I don't think I put it above Wrath. The flight with the 1 speed is a 35% chance to evade. That's crazy. That's crazy. Plus you can bring a blind. Plus you can bring more speed manipulation. That's crazy. And then you get the true strike. So by the way, if your opponent's trying, something like that, and because flight will benefit your player that has the flight, but not if it's being attacked by a flyer. So it's possible that, the scenario could be that you have Drath on your team and yet you're still missing somebody because they've got a taunt and flight and you didn't expect to be attacking them or something like that. There's ways that you might be vulnerable to flyers even while being Drath because you can't put flight on every one of your team members. And yet this feels super evasive, super powerful. I like the taunt, controlling where your opponent goes. There's enough taunts on those teams already, but taunt in conjunction with Resurrect and using some monsters that are really crazy, controlling your martyrs, letting your martyrs go down first, by the way, right? You bring 2 Resurrects and put a martyr out there, let the martyr die first via taunt and then come right back and die again. Seems pretty powerful to me. So I'm standing strong by Drath being the most powerful so far, and I like Tofu a lot with that +2 hit points. And the snare and the divine shield in particular. So those are still my 2, but Cryptic, I see value there. And I if I implied otherwise in my video, I didn't mean to. Cryptic looks strong. I don't like it as much as some of these others. Now Lorkus, let's try and do the same respect to Lorkus. I wonder, I don't have any damage or any videos to show you for Lorkus, but I bet if we go into the Modern League and we look at the top battles, I wonder if we can see some. There's a Lorkus battle with a win. Let's go. This is a Gold League level. So we got Lorkus at the Gold League from Mad Goal and Brazilier ACR or something. Brazil Racer or something. Anyways. So it does look like a relatively even matched team. Relatively strong team up here with the Soulbound Summoner at level 8, and then Lorkus at level 4, which is maxed out. You got the only big difference is the Fiend of Voxum over here at level 1 versus level 3 down here. Let's see what happens. Of course, the +1/1 is powerful. If anybody thought I didn't think that was powerful, of course, come on, yes, it's powerful. But to me, these base bonuses are more impressive than blind and -1 speed with Cryptic, or +2 hit points and snare, which is offered by Tofu. But these tactics kits are less impressive. What did you use down here? Okay, so you use the Trample and the Fury. The Fury is irrelevant because there's no Taunter, but the Trample is pretty cool with Fina because Fina's got the opportunity and the piercing and the damage buff. So you're going to hit like a truck and then you might trample into something. You could theoretically go boom, trample, which is, I bet, what's going to happen right now. Isn't it? It is going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yep. You're going to hit the, yeah, and then you're going to trample, and you're going to, do you get Bloodlust? What happens? It didn't stop you and Bloodlust you. Oh, it did. My bad. Oh, interesting. Hang on. You attacked once, killed once. The trample was in direct connection to the first attack. You didn't get your Bloodlust before it let you kill the second person. So you ended up getting 2 Bloodlusts, but they procced after both kills were already done. I would have thought the first Bloodlust would proc after the first kill, and then the second Bloodlust would proc after the second kill. I wonder if that's a bit of a development error or like just a bit of a bug, because I suspect that the Bloodlust should proc as soon as the enemy dies. Anyways, clearly the Trample is a very effective application in the context of this. Bloodlusting, yeah, let's go, right? Drop the Bloodlust. Oh, and the miss over there. But to be fair, the demoralize that's happening from this team is substantial. Like the Fina is outwitted. You got a level 1 Fina versus level 3. Okay, so clearly you won that. The Trample did a lot of work. Trample's amazing. Trample in conjunction with Opportunity is amazing. So I can see that. I got to give some props to that. Let's see if we can find one more. But actually, we're going to go up to, let's go leaderboard. Actually, can I go top battles? Yeah. Champion top battles. There's a win from Lorkus right there. With Lorkus from YGG Brawlers from Maisie. Oh, he lost. My bad. We might look at that, though. We got a win over here with Cryptic. There's a loss with Cryptic. A win with Cryptic. I might look at that. Vedev versus Samwise. There's a Lorkus. So I'm seeing here's a win. Antonine versus John. 5,060 RP versus 4,600. Let's see what Lorkus can do here. This is obviously Champion League level. The +1/+1 really matters. We got Weapons Trainer over here. It's gonna buff. So we're going heavy magic. If you double dip on the Weapons Trainer, then of course this is even that much more cool. And what do you got down here? You got Shatter. You got Void. You got Void, and you're still gonna lose? Let's find out. I'm surprised the top team is going to win. I'm surprised Lorkus is going to win. So we got slow. We got the armor. I see. So this is problem for Mantaroth because the armor goes away. Blood and Cinder. You don't have any cleanse. You missed some key shots. The speed modifier seems to have worked for death. I think this guy missed. I think this guy missed because it's like 3 speed is bad. It's too fast for the reverse speeds rule set. The Mantaroth goes down in round 2, And you just got too much resiliency with Grimbarden, don't you? See, to me, what happened here is not that Lorkus won this. It's that Mantaroth was the wrong pick by John with the Blood and Sunder, first of all. And second of all, weapons training with the archery, which is valuable, but not being able to fire from the first means that your Mantaroth, or sorry, your Grimbarden Smith is worse than his objectively. And, you know, you're not even firing from the first anymore. And so I feel like there was like just team design that maybe cost John this one. A cleanse would have been nice as well, because that Mantaroth got poisoned in round 1, or I mean afflicted, and so that could have changed things. And then look at Buddy over here with the 14 hit points, by the way. The life leech going to work, hey? Yes, so that was a big factor. I didn't properly cover that, because the Grimbarden Smith was able to stay alive quite as long as it did, because every in addition to support and healing and all that and its immunity, it was able to life leech, and then Magi of the Chaos just up to 15 hit points even after reflection, by the way. So okay, so I'm going to change my mind. The life leech is making it so that even if John didn't lose his Mantaroth in the second round, you know, this would have been problematic to deal with. We still have tons of hit points, tons of resiliency. So maybe I'm going to change my mind on that and say that Lorkus did the heavy lifting there. But I still don't know that changes anything, because I go, this is too evasive. Plus, I love this kit. Now, Tofu, maybe I haven't seen it yet, and maybe, you know, we'll change my mind. But 3 Divine Shields is pretty amazing in conjunction with Resurrect as well, by the way. So I think I still go 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 3, 4. And it's not that these are crap. I'm not saying 4 means terrible. I'm saying just, you know, one of them has to be the worst. And so I stand by my opinions. Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments below. If you know me on Discord, send me some videos if you see some good ones on these guys. I'd love to see it. Have an amazing day. God bless.